Plaintiff Linda Blatzer says her 22-year-old son's criminal and gang activity has resulted in her house being shot at, and her younger children are now at risk. Linda's suing her son for 2 bounce checks and emotional distress. Defendant William Carmaine Jr. believes the bounce checks are not his fault.
All right, Linda, tell us why you're here.
I love my son very much, but I'm here because he needs help. He's hung around with thugs and gang-affiliated people, and he's gotten into stealing and drugs and has stolen to support his habit.
Has he been arrested for any of this?
Yes.
All right, does he have a record?
He has, this is his arrest record, Your Honor. It's 34 pages long, and it's only for 4 years.
Oh, boy. How is his behavior affecting your other children?
This is my daughter. She adores her brother. She worships the ground he walks on.
Why don't you come up for a second? What's your name?
Amanda Jo Blatzer.
Amanda, how old are you?
15.
Okay, you love your brother?
Yes. Why wouldn't I love him?
Has he done some bad things to your mom? To your family?
He's stolen from my family before, but...
Thanks.
Defendant William Carmaine Jr. is being sued by his mother because she believes William's siblings are in danger because of his gang affiliation.
You know what the shame of this is? That having a brother or a highly aggressive sibling, unfortunately, leads to aggression and obviously a bad example for other siblings in the home.
Yes.
I mean, the statistics are very clear. I've been a DA and a judge for 30 years. I can tell you that the example that's set, unfortunately, and with a rap sheet that's 34 pages long, you know, what you're doing is nothing more than hurting the siblings who, ironically and innocently, love you. All right, tell me about the incident that brings us to court right now.
He called me up. He was working down south and wanted me to come pick him up. He said he had gotten hurt. He had hurt his arm. He thought he might have broken it or sprained it. Wanted me to come pick him up and take him to the hospital.
And how far is that from where you were?
About 2.5 hours.
2.5 hour drive?
2.5 hour drive.
All right, so you go there.
Well, we went there. I reluctantly went there. I kind of argued with him, but I was with my girlfriend, Pamela, which is here today. We went down there together to go pick him up. Come to find out, he manipulated his way into getting me to come pick him up to give him a ride home because he had no vehicle. So we got there, met his boss. We were in the house. He said, I have to go get my stuff ready. We were in the backyard looking at some construction his boss was doing. He went in the house, got his clothes together and everything. He came back out. We shook his boss's hand. His boss handed him a paycheck, and we left. Well, we were going to come back home, and he was like, no, let's go cash my check, and that way I can give you money for gas and take you out to lunch. And I thought, wow, that's pretty nice, you know, okay, we'll go do that. Went to go cash his check, and he come out and wanted me to get $200 in $1 bills. Why, I don't know, but knowing my son with his history.
You thinking something?
Yes.
Oh.
It's a big wad in his pocket is what it is. So I did it, I said, okay, whatever, got it. Well, cashed his check. We went to lunch. He put gas in my car and everything. We went home. Everything was fine. Didn't have a problem. About 4 days later, he called me up, was very upset, said he'd gotten fired from his job. About 3 weeks after that, I get a phone call from the bank. I'm $1,201 overdrawn, and they froze my account. Oh. And I was livid. I didn't know what. I said, there's a mistake. There's no way. I knew I had money in the bank. There's no way. And they were talking about checks, and I said, no, you guys are wrong. This is a savings account. It's not even a checking account, that they're talking about. Mm-hmm. And then they went in and they told me the checks, where they were company checks and who they were made out to and the amounts.
Do you have them with you today?
I don't have the checks. They would not release the checks, but I do have the bank statement showing my balance before and after.
Were you with him when he got the check, one of the checks?
Me and my girlfriend were standing there when we watched his boss hand him a check. The funny part was when William went in the house, we were outside looking at the pool. He went in the house to get his stuff. And that's the only time that I can think of. We've went over this several times.
But why don't you come up to the podium? Hi, Pam. All right. Were you with Linda when she went to pick up her son?
Yes.
Okay. And you were there when he got a check?
Yeah. When we walked in, he introduced his boss to us. His boss would give him a check. We were looking at the pull-out bag.
Did you see the boss give him a check?
Yes. It was his paycheck.
Okay, but there was one check at least we know that his boss gave him.
He did hand
And
him
then
a check.
based upon this bank statement, thank you. Then based upon this bank statement, the boss apparently stopped payment.
Yes.
All right, tell me about these checks.
It was beginning of November. I started working for this construction company.
Why didn't you have a bank account?
To be honest, I just hadn't opened one.
So your mother was the bank in more ways than one.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I had stated to her that I was going to cash a check one time, just at like I guess a convenience store, and she told me, you know, if I opened up a bank account, whenever I cashed my check, they wouldn't charge me anything. And she said that she'd cash a check for me.
All right.
And that's the reason, you know, I went through her cashing my check.
So what about these two checks?
Well, I had received my last paycheck that night. My mom, once again, she cashed one of my checks through her bank account, and everything was fine. Matter of fact, I believe I took her and Pam out to eat and put gas in her car and went and picked up my last paycheck.
The boss gives you the check?
Yes, ma'am.
It's a corporate check?
It's a personal check with his name on it. It says his company name on it.
And he signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the last time when your mom and her friend were there, who gave you the check?
He did.
He did?
Yes, ma'am.
And they were there witnessing that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Then what happens?
From there, we left and went to the bank. My mom cashed it. And yes, I did get $200 in ones. I just wanted to make it look like I had a bunch of money.
All right, fast forward. Your mother says that checks are not clearing and they're debiting her account for $1,200. What's your response to that?
I told her I couldn't understand why they weren't clearing.
So
in the
what
bank.
do you do?
I picked up the phone and proceeded to call my ex-employer.
What'd he say?
He didn't answer the phone for me and he wouldn't return my phone calls.
Did you go to his house?
No, he lives, like my mom said, he lives like 2 hours away.
Go ahead, Mom.
When I called him up and I was upset with him and I was crying and I told him that they took the money I had in the account and I didn't know how I was going to feed his brother and sister and everything, I said, you're going to have to help me pay this money back or something. I'll take care of it.
Defendant William Carmaine Jr. is being sued by his mother because she believes William's siblings are in danger because of his gang affiliation.
Your mom is $1,200 in the hole. She's working. She's supporting your sister and your brother. She's $1,200 in the hole because of whatever mess you got into with your boss. He put a stop payment on the check? Is that?
No, he actually called them up and told them that the checks were forged.
Are you telling me you didn't steal the checks?
No, ma'am, I didn't. Those were my paychecks, and I had been getting paid on personal checks since.
Okay, then why aren't you angry with your boss saying, I want that money, you can't stop payment on it. My mother is taking food away from my siblings because of your stopping payment on this check or alleging that it's stolen.
I was upset about it, and I did try to call him quite a few times.
All right, let me ask you this. He steals from you. He does drugs. Because you acted as his banker and his mother, you're out $1,200. Do you think that he, because of this rap sheet, because of his stealing from you, because of his drug use, is putting your family in danger?
Yes, I do.
So what are you going to do about it?
That's why I'm here. I love my son. I really do. He needs help. And
Do you think he's
gonna
a
have
lost cause?
No, I do not. I really do not. I think his biggest problem is if he got off the drugs, he would be a wonderful, caring, loving person. I mean, when he's with his brother and sister, you can just see the love and you can see the good person that he really is. And
why do you think he's like this?
Your Honor, if I knew that, I could fix it. He needs to get help. I don't know if he just needs drug rehab. I don't know.
You addicted?
No, ma'am.
Look at me. Are you addicted?
No, ma'am.
It's not a crime to be addicted to drugs. You know that. It's a crime to use drugs. It's a crime to buy them. It's a crime to sell them. But do you realize your whole family is suffering? What's in your hands, Mom?
I wanted to show you something. When you asked me about if I thought my family was in danger, my son had messed with some people, and they had come by my house, and they had actually done a drive-by shooting on my house. They shot my car. They shot into my house. My 14-year-old son was sitting on the couch, and
These are bullet holes.
Yes.
You are lucky you're standing in front of me and you're free right now. You should be in prison. And that's a testament to the problem with judges in this country. They don't sentence people appropriately. If you were sentenced appropriately, maybe you wouldn't be out there doing drugs and having a drug problem. The people you hang around with are creating a danger for your sister and your brother. You have got to step up and be the person that you can be. You've got a mother who loves you. Do you know how many kids are out on the street because their families won't have anything to do with them? She keeps going in to help you. She loves you and she believes in you. By your using your mother as a bank, what you did is you implied that if the checks weren't being honored, that you would reimburse her for them. And so as far as I'm concerned, you owe your mother the $1,200 that she's in the hole. That is my judgment. You know what, William? I was a county judge. I sat in the narcotics part for over a year. I put people like you away. You're a walking time bomb. Look at me. I see in you someone who is salvageable, someone who is capable of moving forward and being a good human being, someone who may even support his sister and his mother and make right. It's not too late for you to do it. But you need a little tough love. And Mom, I'm telling you right now, cut the ties. Cut the ties. The danger to your family is too great. Stop carrying him and let him out in the world on his own. And you get yourself together. You're a good person inside. You've got the ability to do it, so do it. But in the meantime, you're going to have to flail and find out what the world is like without your mother's protection. That's my order. Thank you. Your mom is worth her weight in gold. You are a lucky young man. She loves you to death. She absolutely loves you. You've got a problem. I can see it, and I want to offer you rehab. I want you to go into rehab, but before you can do that, you've got to admit that you have a problem, all right? I see that you've got the support in your mom and your sister who loves you, and I'm sure your brother at home loves you, but every move that you make is hurting them. Every move that you make is putting them in jeopardy. We want to offer you rehab. Will you go?
You need it, Billy.
Yes, ma'am, I'd go.
William, I'm going to shake your hand. I want you to take care of yourself, okay?
Thank you very
You're a
much.
good woman.
I try to be.
You are. There aren't enough mothers like you.